Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead and another What We Eat for Dinner in a Week. In these videos, I show you how I combine inexpensive Aldi groceries with food that we are blessed with from the food pantries to make hopefully well-balanced, delicious meals. As a family, we generally eat low carb because my husband and I do for health reasons. And as the sole cook in the house, it is easier for me to make one meal than to try to be a short order cook. But you will see variations to that, and I will explain it as we go. So today is Monday. We did go to the grocery store today. I did not film that, however, because while we were in town, we also picked up baby chicks. It has been a solid 4 years since we have replaced any of our laying hens, and we are needing to replace. So, not replace, but add more to our flock. We let our hens age themselves out, if you will. So we have hens that are out there that are 6-ish years old, somewhere out in there, 6-7 years old. And they are still doing a job for us because they, do all the things. But we were needing to replace some, or just refresh and have some fresh layers. So we picked up 20 chicks today. Unfortunately, we've already lost a couple, which is not unheard of. It's part of it. But so we needed to get home and get them put in the brooder and get water and food and all of that stuff set up. So rather than messing with filming, I chose to just not this time. So our pantry and refrigerator and freezers are refreshed, which is always a lovely feeling. So tonight, because of all of the hullabaloo that we had going on, I chose to make an easy dinner. So these are we call them lunch meat sliders. Hang on just a sec. I'm going to reach over here to this counter and get a fork so that I can lift one of these up and you can see. It is lunch meat. So Hawaiian rolls, you slice them open. You put in lunch meat and then sliced cheese. And I do a little bit of honey mustard inside as well. You could do mayo, barbecue sauce, whatever you want. Then you make, hang on just a sec. Sorry, I had to go tell a couple of kids to get out. You guys always talk about my kids being quiet. They were not being quiet. Being a distraction. Anyway, so then you melt 1 stick of butter. This is not health food. 1 stick of butter. Add in a couple teaspoons of mustard, some minced onion, some garlic powder, Worcestershire sauce if you want to, and if you have it. I don't have any right now. And you mix that all together, and then you pour it on top of the rolls. Cover them and bake them at 350 for about a half an hour. The goal is for the cheese to be melted. So I always pull up that one, like one out of the middle, and check it. They will, like the bottoms, depending on how long you let it go, will get a little crispy. It kind of depends on how done you like it. I usually then uncover it for the last 5 minutes or so, just so the tops get a little browned. With that, we have coleslaw, a quick and easy low-carb side, which is always nice. And then we are going to do potato chips because we're going, like I said, quick and easy tonight. For me, I cannot do the rolls. They are amazing, and I would love to do them, but I can't. So I am going to do some keto chicken nuggets in the air fryer, and then I will do some coleslaw and some pork rinds as mine. So yeah, I think that's everything I could. I'm making egg cups too, which I haven't done in a while. My kids are burnt out on the normal breakfast things, so I'm going to try some egg cups and see if they like those. It's been a while since I made any of those, but that might be a good option that I can make in bulk and freeze. So I might do a couple of those because that sounds good. All right, that is Monday night. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, it is Tuesday night, and I'll be honest, I was kind of contemplating not filming because I pinched that spot in my back again. Y'all, I am getting old. Both of my parents have had pretty gnarly back issues to the point where both of them have had back surgeries, and my sister is looking at probably having back surgery in the future, and I'm really hoping to avoid that, but I apparently need to stop picking things up in weird directions, and today it was pulling weeds. I was yanking at some crabgrass, so it's my fault, but at the same time It would be nice to go like 2 weeks without that pinch there. It's always better within 24 hours, but it's still annoying. So I was not going to film tonight because this is we've made this so many times before. This is Big Mac salad. But I changed one thing up, so I kind of wanted to show that as hey, this is another option. So, Big Mac salad is all the things that you would normally have on a Big Mac, but in a salad form. So, ready? 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles. We skip onions on a sesame seed bun, and we are going to add bacon this time because I've got it. And you can have a Big Mac with bacon on it, I believe. I think you can order anything at McDonald's with bacon on it. I haven't eaten at McDonald's in, I think my oldest, my 14-year-old was probably a baby, because it's just, if I'm going to pick fast food, McDonald's is not the one I choose. And we very rarely eat fast food. So anyway, this is 2 pounds of ground deer meat. We will we definitely won't use all of that, but if we have leftovers for salads, or I will come up with some other use for that, I might put it on like pizza this Friday, or I don't know. Yeah, it'll get used. Trust me, it'll get used. My husband and I processed those 2 deer in our kitchen by ourselves this fall. You bet your boy howdy, every last ounce of that meat is getting used. That was a long couple of days. So anyway, lettuce, self-explanatory, the meat. So what we did different is, the last 2 times that we have been into Aldi, they do not have French fried onions, which is usually what we do in place of onion and kind of the bun. And they didn't have any. My kids don't like raw onions, like minced up raw onions. I think one of them would probably be fine, but most of them don't. So instead, we had 2 burger buns that were from last week that we had not gotten used. And they were still completely fine because, you know, modern bread lasts forever. So I just lightly toasted them in the oven. I put them at 350. I was actually preheating the oven to do more egg cups. Those went over really well last night. So I was preheating the oven to do that. And so I just stuck them in there while it was preheating. It was maybe, I have no idea, maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes. I was doing all the other things while that was happening, and in pain. So it's not bad. It's just annoying because it's that catch. If you've ever had a tweak in your back, you know, it's not constant pain. It's that certain movements, and it just searing and catches, and you can't move for a second. So anyway, enough about me and whining. So I just toasted these, and you can hear them. They're nice and crunchy. The kids have already eaten some of them. Sorry, I had a blister from working in the garden. No, it's not pretty. But the kids have already tried them and they were fine. I didn't even add anything to them. I just lightly oiled them and toasted them. Didn't, no seasonings or anything like that. But they were the Dave's Killer Bread that have like the seedy stuff on them. So they have some flavor to them. All right. Anyway, bacon crumbles. That's obviously optional. Minced up dill pickle. The sauce, I will put the recipe in the show notes. It is delicious and tastes just like Big Mac sauce. From my memory, but my husband has eaten McDonald's way more recently than me because he is a junk food junkie, and he has said, oh my gosh, that tastes exactly like that. And then just shredded cheddar cheese. So a nice quick and easy one for the most part, like really and truly making, while the meat is browning, cut up your lettuce, cut up your pickles, make your sauce first. I recommend that because it does taste better if it's sat for half an hour. So make your sauce. Then while your meat is cooking, cut up your lettuce and cut up your pickles, and if you want onion. And then it's done. Like, it's so quick. So this would be a great weeknight meal. 15 minutes, 20 max, and it's done. So unless you're like me and you're doing 4 other things at the same time. Because, and I also had a helper. I had one of my kiddos was offered to help, and so I had him doing jobs too. So he's my little kitchen buddy. All right, that is Tuesday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, it is Wednesday night, and my back still hurts, y'all. I was hoping, normally this goes away within 24 hours, and it is not better. So here's hoping that I don't have to call chiropractor tomorrow. Tonight, these are our deer steaks that this past fall, my husband got 2 deer, and we cut all of the tenderloins into steaks, like kind of medallion steaks. So that's what these are. I will put the marinade that I do in the show notes. It's really good. Like, I don't like red meat, and especially deer, and I will eat a couple bites of this because it's just that good. Back there, we have an entire bag of Aldi's frozen chicken thighs. Half of them I put barbecue sauce on. The other half I did not. The other half is going to be for dinner tomorrow night. You'll see that coming up. This is green beans left over from Saturday. We had quite a few because I had done 2 quarts, and because we had so many side options. Nobody picked green beans because, you know, they're not the favorite, and especially my kids get burnt out on green beans by the end of winter because we eat a lot of them at least once a week. And then this was just one of those frozen mashed potato things, and I just reheated it and threw some butter in there and calling it good. So, and it's one of those where, like, for me, I will just eat chicken and green beans and be fine with that. I don't have to have 2 veggies. So today was also the beginning of No Media May, which is, I think, the 2nd year that we have done this as a family, where for the whole month of May, we don't do any TV, we don't do YouTube, I stay off of social media, what else? Don't play games on my phone, all of that, which we're not huge TV watchers, like max of a couple hours a day, unless it's like rainy and gross out or everybody's sick or something like that. But most of the time it's a couple of hours a day. But we find that taking a month off is just a nice reset, and we can kind of reevaluate our viewing choices and how much time we're spending on Facebook and, you know, like scrolling through reels on Facebook and those kind of things. So and I'm excited. My husband's participating a little bit more this year than he has in the past. So, and May is the perfect month to do it because we're busy planting a garden and running around the yard and blowing bubbles and, you know, just doing all those things. So, all right. Okay, that's everything. My back hurts. I'm tired. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. It is Thursday night, and I hinted to dinner tonight from last night's video because I used the leftover chicken, cooked extra chicken, so that I had enough for tonight. So tonight we are having Chinese food. We are loosely calling it that because it's not actually Chinese food. It's very Americanized Chinese food. So we have in the bowls, we will put ramen noodles and then steamed broccoli on top of that. Sometimes we do cauliflower and carrots as well in there, but we decided not to today. And then the rest of the chicken thighs from last night, and I just diced those up last night before putting them away, and then put them in this pan with a little bit of water to kind of reheat them. No big deal. On top of that, we have sweet and sour sauce. For me, I can't do the noodles or the sweet and sour sauce. I will just do broccoli and chicken and probably not put anything on it. I don't know, because broccoli and chicken, it's not Chinese food. Then I normally use bang bang sauce, but I am out currently, and it's spicy, which my stomach doesn't tend to like too terribly much. So yeah, I don't know, I might throw some like soy sauce on it or something like that and be good enough, or something completely. I might even just put cheese on it and call it mac and cheese. Hi, Brave. Hey, what you doing? What you doing? That's Brave. He's our male kitty. He's a good boy. All right, so that is Thursday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I was going to tell you, my back is feeling a lot better. It was still a little tight this morning, but I am moving around a lot better. Didn't end up needing to get chiropractor, so I'm glad for that. I mean, I don't mind, but our chiropractor is an hour drive away, so it's kind of a big deal, and especially if my back was hurting, I didn't want to be sitting in a car for an hour to drive to her. So she's well worth the hour drive. She's the chiropractor that I've seen through 4 of my 5 pregnancies, and after all of my pregnancies, and all of my kids have seen her, one of them when they were just a few hours old, but all of them, that was almost always the first trip out with our new baby, was to go see chiropractor and midwife and all that. So, all right. Anyway, I'm rambling. Back feels better. Thank you. Awesome. Yay. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but it probably will. So that is Thursday night's dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Friday night, and Friday night at our house means pizza night. Sometimes that is store-bought, sometimes it's homemade. It is pretty much never takeout because we live too far out in the country for takeout to be delivered to us. And I can make a whole lot of frozen pizzas or from scratch pizzas for way cheaper and way faster than delivery. So tonight we have homemade pizzas, like all the way homemade. So I will post the recipe for this pizza dough. I tried a new one. I wanted to find like the Artisan Bread 5 minutes a day thing where you just mix it up and let it sit instead of having to knead it. I wanted to find a recipe like that, and I was able to find one, and it turned out great. These look good. Like they don't look bad by any stretch of the imagination. They look delicious. So I will post that recipe in the show notes. We did 1 cheese, 1 Hawaiian, and 1 pepperoni. And then the kids will be having side salad with this. As for me, are you ready? If you've been here for a while, I don't know. I had best laid plans to make something for myself, and then we had a very last minute errand that needed run into town that took us way longer than I was expecting. And then several other things happened when we got home that instead of having plenty of time to figure out what I was doing, I had no time to figure out what I was doing. So I don't know. I may just make myself some chicken nuggets and throw them in the air fryer and do some zucchini fries and call that good. That actually sounds good. So yeah, maybe that. I don't know. Yeah, no big deal. I will be fed. Don't worry about that. But that's a lot of times how this, for whatever reason, on Friday nights, I always forget to make myself something. So yeah. Tonight's also the one night a week that we do dessert. And I will just pull out whatever dessert items we have on hand and let the kids pick and choose whatever they want. And for No Media May, tonight we also are going to do a movie night. So I'm going to get off here and we're going to go do that. So thank you so much for hanging out with me on Friday. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Saturday night, and hopefully you can hear me over the sizzling. Saturday night, I usually make a big meal so that we have leftovers, and I'll explain here in just a second why. So tonight, this week while we were at the grocery store, I picked up a family-sized pack of chicken leg quarters. Then I found out that there was a grocery store in another town near us that was running special on those big, like 10-pound bags of chicken leg quarters. And so I ended up going and purchasing 3 of those because they were like $6.80 a piece, and you cannot beat that. So yeah, I did cook up these, and then I've got 3 more packages to fix for other times, which I'm super excited about because I love chicken leg quarters. So I baked these for a long time. It's like 2.5 hours. It's a ridiculous amount of time, but it's so worth it. And then the last 15 minutes or so, I put on barbecue sauce because that's my kids' favorite way to have it. I did steamed carrots. I did a couple of zucchini, and I just sauteed those in some oil. And then I added in some minced garlic and sauteed that just a little bit, which is why it's still sizzling away. Probably the last of our asparagus. I keep saying that, and then it keeps doing fine, so I keep getting it. But this time when I harvested, as I was cutting it, you kind of push your knife into it until you reach a tender point, or like some places will have you break it, and where it naturally breaks, it gets woody as it gets closer to being done. And this was definitely, I ended up chucking probably 1/3 more than what's on the pan. So that's usually a pretty good sign that it is getting too far into the year to be harvesting, and you want to make sure that you leave plenty to go to seed and continue to grow for next year. So that may be the last of the asparagus, which is a wah-wah for me and at least 2 of my kids. And then because I had dirtied up that bowl from making the pizza dough last night, I just went ahead and used that same bowl to mix up an artisan bread in 5 minutes a day, and then I baked it in a regular loaf pan. And so the kids will have that with butter, honey, or jelly on it as a nice little treat. It smells so good. That is one thing I do miss, and I usually end up eating like a half a slice of that because I just can't say no. I put on a lot of butter so that we're countering the carbs with fat and protein, so that hopefully that's one of the things that they tell you, at least that they told me when I had gestational diabetes, was if you're going to have carbs, pair it with protein, because the protein kind of helps tamper the carbs some. It's not great. It's not like you can eat that whole pan of chicken and then eat, like a whole loaf of bread. It doesn't work like that, but it does kind of help even things out on not having a physical response to the sugar high and then sugar low, if that makes sense. So, all right. The reason why I make a big meal on Saturdays is because this is the end of our week of meals. On Sunday, I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do laundry, I don't do dishes. I do all of that on Saturday so that I can take Sunday off. And I'm glad of that, because in the process of doing all of the things that I needed to do today, I tweaked my back again. So now it's all angry at me. Hoping to be able to still get to church tomorrow. I don't think it's that bad. And like I said before, it's usually within 24 hours it's feeling better. So I hope I can get to church tomorrow, because I do thoroughly enjoy it. It's kind of my mom time. Yeah. So what we do on Sundays is when we get home from church, we don't get home until 1:30, 2 o'clock. By the time we get home, change out of church clothes, get food out. It can be as early as 1, just depends on how much socializing we do after church. So we will get home from church and I will pull out all of the leftovers from the week, which is part of the reason why I do a big meal on Saturday, to ensure that we have a decent amount of leftovers. The kids get to pick and choose whatever they want, and it gets the leftovers used. So little to no food waste is always my goal. Then Sunday for dinner, I pull out charcuterie board things. So goat cheese, cheese cubes, cured meats, dried fruits, pickles, anything that you would normally see on a charcuterie board is what we pull out. And once again, the kids get to pick and choose whatever they want. And on that meal, I even bust out paper plates because by that time mom needs a day off. And yeah, so that is our week of meals. I will post any relevant recipes in the show notes. If you have any questions about anything that I have made, please feel free to ask, and I will gladly share recipes or type out a little bit better how I did things. I try to give just kind of a general explanation as to how I bake or cook, whatever. But if you need more information than that, I will be glad to share. So, all right, I'm going to get off here and go put a hot pack on my back, and yeah. This getting old thing is not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. All right, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye and God bless.